Many thanks for joining us on ASO TV News at this hour. I am Joy Annie. Let's begin with the headlines. FCT Minister Barrister Wike defends leadership, tackles Fubara Amaechi in monthly media chart. FCT administration begins rehabilitation of water plant, announces temporary supply disruption. And sadly, National Emergency Management Agency recovers 151 bodies following Mokwa flooding in Niger State. ECOWAS Commission President presents community report outline complex economic, political and security issues. And now the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Barrister Ezenwoyesom Wike, has defended his style of leadership, saying taking tough decisions that may displease some people is necessary for effective governance. Speaking during the June edition of his monthly media chart in Abuja, Wike said he remains focused on delivering key infrastructure projects tied to available resources within the FCT. The minister also reveals that a committee has been set up to consider deducting 16% from area council's allocation to pay the salaries of primary school teachers. He said the move is aimed at addressing long-standing challenges in basic education across the territory. Barrister Wike used the platform to clarify his political position, stating that he is still a member of the People's Democratic Party, despite serving in All Progressives Congress-led federal government. According to him, he wrote to all relevant PDP organs before accepting his appointment as minister. The minister also addressed his strained relationship with Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, accusing him of following himself and allowing himself to be used by political enemies. Wike said Fubara has made no genuine effort at reconciliation and dismissed claims of personal hostility. Wike further responded to former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amaechi over recent remarks alleging hardship. He described Amaechi's claims as politically motivated and an insult to Nigerians, insisting that his critics are driven by the hunger for power, not service. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwoyesom Wike, has inspected key road projects in Gwagwalada, Kwali, and other rural communities of the FCT ahead of the planned commissioning to mark President Bola Tinubu's second year in office. Mr. Wike, who was accompanied by former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Prince Chibudum Nwuche, said the ongoing infrastructure work are aimed at bridging the development gap between the city center and the suburbs. He urged residents to take ownership of public assets like roads and street lights to ensure sustainability and prevent vandalism. The minister said all 19 projects scheduled for commissioning are equally important as they are designed to improve the lives of ordinary citizens. He also emphasized the role of access road in unlocking the agricultural potential of rural communities. On his part, Prince Nwuche praised the pace and quality of development under Wike's leadership, describing it as world-class and transformative. This picture comes as part of activities leading to the Democracy Day celebration, with the FCT administration set to showcase infrastructure milestones under the Tinubu-led administration. And now the Federal Capital Territory administration has commenced major rehabilitation on works and on 2 of its 4 water treatment plants, resulting in partial disruption of water supply in Abuja city center and some satellite towns. According to a statement by the Minister's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Public Communication, Larry Olayinka, only phases 3 and 4 of the water treatment plants are currently operational, while phases 1 and 2 have been shut down for repairs. The affected plants are ongoing replacement of critical electromechanical equipment to boost overall efficiency. The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, explained that the rehabilitation being carried out by SCC Nigeria Limited will last for 2 weeks during which water supply will be rationed. He said the remaining 2 operational plants cannot meet the city's full demand, hence the need for a temporary distribution schedule. To ease the impact during the Salah celebration, the minister said the 2 plants under rehabilitation will be temporarily reactivated to improve supply. He added that the contractors are working round the clock to complete the project ahead of schedule. The Water Board had introduced a rationing plan alternating between distribution lines 1 and 2. Residents have been urged to store water and bear with the administration as efforts continue to restore full supply. And now the Education Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory Administration has refuted claims made in viral Hausa voice note alleging that students in FCT schools are being indoctrinated into a particular religion against their will. In a statement signed by the Head of Information and Public Relations, Kabiru Musa, the Secretariat described the claims as false, baseless and deliberately misleading. It said investigations confirmed that the schools mentioned in the voice note are located in Mararaba, Nasarawa State and not within the FCT. The Secretariat emphasized that all FCT schools operate as secular institutions where students of all faiths coexist peacefully. It reaffirmed that the administration's commitment to protecting the lives and rights of every child to earn in an environment free from religious bias or discrimination. It also noted that under the leadership of the FCT Minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, the administration is prioritizing education through ongoing renovations, infrastructure upgrades, and enhanced ICT facilities across all 6 area councils. The Education Secretariat warned that divisive narratives aimed to destabilize the education system would not be tolerated and said legal actions may be taken against individuals or groups spreading false information. The public was urged to rely on only verified information from official FCTA sources. Still on the FCT, officials of the Federal Capital Territory Muslim Pilgrim Welfare Board have held a crucial meeting in Makkah ahead of the movement of pilgrims to Mina, where the main rites of the Hajj pilgrimage are set to begin. The meeting, chaired by the director of the board, Malam Kadiri Eda, focused on reviewing the feeding, accommodation, transportation and general welfare of pilgrims since their relocation from Medina to Makkah. Eda commended the efforts of the board's officials in managing the pilgrims' affairs so far and urged them to maintain a high level of commitment to ensure a smooth and spiritually fulfilling experience for the FCT pilgrims. He also confirmed that adequate arrangements have been made for the pilgrims to stay in Mina, where they will observe key Hajj rituals, including the standing at Arafat, the area commonly referred to as City of Tents, will host thousands of pilgrims during the period. According to the board, sufficient space has been allocated for the FCT contingent in Mina, and feeding logistics have been finalized ahead of the pilgrims' movement to the site in the coming days. Let's move on now. The National Emergency Management Agency, in coordination with other emergency response bodies, is intensifying efforts to track and rescue missing persons and provide relief support to the flood-affected families in Mokwa, Niger State. On Saturday, 31st May 2025, NEMA Rapid Response and Recovery Team conducted a symbolic distribution of the relief materials to affected persons and then handed over to the local government area SEMA and community leader Sadikin Harusawa to continue the distribution. So far, 151 bodies have been recovered, 503 households and 264 houses have been affected, and 3,018 individuals displaced. NEMA is also closely monitoring and providing support for the full recovery of all the initially admitted victims at various health centers that are now treated and discharged. The two township roads and bridges that were damaged by the flooding have impacted vehicular movement and economic activities negatively. NEMA is using its mobile water purification equipment to provide potable water for domestic use of residents within the affected communities, including other hygiene measures to prevent the outbreak of waterborne diseases associated with flooding disasters. In line with the directive of President Bola Tinubu, all hands are on deck to ensure that every necessary support is provided to the town during these trying times while the situation is generally getting back to normal. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA has activated National Emergency Operations Center, the NEOC, a multi-stakeholder platform for monitoring flood situation, tracking data and reliable information, and coordinating resource mobilization and deployment in response to the 2025 flooding across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Benjamin Kalu, has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, highlighting significant achievement in economic revitalization, social welfare, security, and national development. The Deputy Speaker at the inauguration of over 20,000 new members of the Renewed Hope Partners, the RHP Bende local government area of Abia State, emphasized that the agenda is not just a slogan but a comprehensive blueprint for Nigeria's progress. He said Nigeria, among other breakthroughs under the Renewed Hope agenda, has recorded notable achievement, including a 3.84% GDP growth in Q4 2024, with annual growth rising to 3.40% in 2024 from 2.74% in 2023. The Deputy Speaker urged the newly inaugurated Renewed Hope Partners to play a crucial role in sustaining the gains of the Renewed Hope agenda and carrying the message of progress to every community. He also had recently unveiled the RHP office in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, to essentially propagate the achievements of President Tinubu's administration. Statement by Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Livinus Nwabuigu, said the event featured the of many members of Young Progressive Party, the YPP, to the All Progressives Congress, and presentation from some heads of federal agencies and parastatals who testified to the positive reforms of the president. The National Student Union, in collaboration with Zenith Health, have officially flagged off a nationwide health competition among secondary schools and tertiary institutions across the country. The initiative, which is designed to promote public health advocacy with emphasis on the fight against malaria, will kick off with 200 free student registrations. Let's join Elizabeth Kasham for that detail.
In a joint media briefing held in Abuja, the National Student Union leaders called on the federal government to increase investments in health reforms initiatives that actively engage young people in advocacy efforts.
We encourage our students to participate actively and be part of the solution, while we commend the bold step being taken. We also issue a passionate call to the government. Please, Nigerian students are begging you, do not relent. The private sector is rising to the occasion, but this fight cannot be won without strong and sustained government leadership.
Membership and leadership development. I help all students, especially those from Polytechnic, to get into this initiative with full enthusiasm. Participate, learn, lead, and most importantly, take charge of your health. This is not just about a competition. It is about empowering a generation that is sound in health, body, and spirit.
It's through awareness, education, action, we can change this. The direct health condition is not just a challenge, it is a platform for young minded like you, I, and us to use creativity and knowledge to raise awareness, inspire communities, and potentially save lives.
The CEO of the firm, Mr. Emmanuel Umewa, who was represented by the Assistant General Manager of Sales and Marketing of the firm, Mr. Abimbola Bowotu, expressed delight that the competition would encourage an all-time health advocacy among young people while restating the company's commitments to enhancing health advocacy and youth empowerment.
This competition empowers them to be advocates and change makers, giving them a platform to discuss and drive initiatives around malaria prevention. I would like to emphasize that today is just the beginning. I urge all participants, educators, and community members to engage fully in this process. The voice of our youth are vital as we work together to eliminate malaria from our society. Every idea and action matters. Let's seize this opportunity to be proactive and make an impact. Moreover, our commitment goes beyond the competition itself. We envision a future where youth advocate for health and well-being, not just during this initiative, but throughout their lives.
In May 2nd, 2025, the federal government had collaborated with Geneth Pharmaceutical Limited to unveil the health competition, a nationwide initiative engaging students across all educational levels to develop profound solutions to malaria via advocacy, research, and community engagements. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.
You're still on to ASO Television News. We are live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We're also on the UHF band on channel 38. Now still to come on the news. ECOWAS Commission presents community report outlines complex economic, political and security issues. To stay with us.
We were warned about this marriage. Because we did not listen, the young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi, why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajani?
We were just talking about offering Ojigijag a seat on the council.
May God be praised. He has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
Many thanks for staying there. Now, the Center for School Health Education and Environmental Hygiene has conducted a free medical outreach as she celebrates 10 years of service to healthy living in the educational system. Speaking with ASO Radio Television in a 2-day engagement, the Executive Director and founder of the school, Dr. Folashade Olushola Momo, disclosed that the foundation conducted a fitness exercise and free medical checkups to mark its 10th year anniversary, aimed at ensuring a safe environment. Tosin Daniela Deyemi tells us more.
The founder and executive director of the Center for School Health Education and Environmental Hygiene, Dr. Folashade Momo, through the foundation's medical outreaches, it has been able to bring qualified healthcare professionals to schools and undeserved communities, offering vital services like checkups, vaccinations, and health education session. Dr. Momo expressed her joy and appreciated God for the achievements the foundation made for the past 10 years in promoting a conducive learning environment and ensuring proper hygiene in various schools.
Just for us to showcase what we've been able to do in the last 10 years, and we've tagged that gathering a decade of impact so that we can showcase everything we've done. You know, we have like a photo gallery exhibition. People will come around to see what we've been able to do. I believe that our own little contribution will go a long way to help to improve access to good healthcare services. And I think the people that have benefited from the outreach this morning, they are so excited and they are grateful and they've been praying for us. Looking forward to more of this, and we are happy to also be contributing in our own little way to support what the government is doing, because we know that government alone cannot do it, and that is why we have organizations like us that can come in our own little way, at least to support the government to achieve whatever they have set out to achieve, you know, that will benefit the lot of the masses in our country.
Speaking also at the event, the chairperson CSHEEH, Mrs. Grace Emoefe, says the foundation will not relent in engaging with a wide range of government bodies, non-governmental organizations, educational institutions, and local communities to drive awareness and action on critical issues related to health and safety in schools.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for the grace to live and see 10 years of something that we just started just like that. And now, time has moved on so quickly that we have already done 10 years. What has been achieved over the period of 10 years is the grace of God, is the mercy of God.
Member Board of Trustee Mr. Babade Bamidele also spoke on the importance of providing various facilities in improving the health system in schools, internally displaced persons camp and other areas in need.
10 years of intervention. You can imagine a school without toilets and without water, and you have to provide for these schools, do tree planting, you provide running water where they can do washing hands. You talk about health, you talk about their teeth, you talk about use of sanitary pads. These are things you hardly can see in textbooks. But to make it as a point for her to be going around and be talking about this repeatedly, with or without support from anyone, goes a long way.
The foundation ensured continual conduct of research to identify health and safety issues in schools, gathering valuable data and also serving as a resource for educators, policymakers, and the community. Additionally, empowering stakeholders to make evidence-based decisions, ultimately improving the health and safety of schools and their surroundings. Tosin Daniel Adeyemi, ASO TV News.
Christian women have been advised to imbibe the virtues of humility, resilience, patience, and hope, as they are all model Christian characters exemplified by Mary, Sarah, Hannah, and Ruth. Wife to the Continental Overseer for Africa, 4 of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Mrs. Esther Odeyemi, gave the advice at the FCT Province 1 Sisters Convention 2025. Daniel Obi has that report.
Taking her teachings from the Bible book of Job chapter 14 verse 7 to 9, Pastor Mrs. Esther Odeyemi took time to dissect the exemplary lives of these biblical women one after the other, and drawing clues for how an ideal Christian woman should act in the face of difficult circumstances.
God is a gift from God, bestowed upon believers through faith in Jesus Christ. The hope is rooted in the promises of restoration of God's glories, eternal life, and a future filled with joy.
Pastor Mrs. Folashade Akiode, wife to the pastor in charge of Region 10, called on women to continue to be a source of encouragement to one another.
Most of us, we have lost hope. We have lost hope in the economy of the country. We have lost hope in what the government has to offer. We have lost hope in society at large. But we want to encourage ourselves that with God there is hope. There is hope for us as women. There is hope for Nigeria as a country. And there is hope for us as human beings.
The pastor in charge of FCT Province 1, Pastor Amos Okemuyiwa, and his wife, Pastor Mrs. Moyomola Okemuyiwa, who equally doubles as the event convener, both had words of wisdom to share.
God who made man and woman have said, man is the head, of the house, head of a woman, and every woman also is expected to submit to her own husband. No matter the knowledge or what you acquired in life, we must align our life within the fabrics of the scripture, within the context in which the Bible have instructed us. We cannot be wiser than God.
What we expect is that we have had so many board of administration, we have had so many counsel from our big mummies and all the stuff. So we are expecting that they should put this work into practice so that God can renew their hope.
The vibrant 4-day Sisters Convention with an inspirational theme, A Woman of Renewed Hope, featured skills acquisition and empowerment training with over 200 certificated beneficiaries, free medical checks, food palliative distributions, and a humanitarian visitation to the Kuje Correctional Center. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
Nigeria Export Promotion Council (NEPC) has announced significant performance in the non-oil export performance, both in volume and value, through the implementation of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led economic agenda. Let's get more details from business correspondent Ile Emeje.
The Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, NEPC, Mrs. Nonye Ayeni, in her keynote address at the media retreat organized for members of the Commerce and Industry Correspondents Association of Nigeria, SICAN, emphasized that the council recorded significant results in the non-oil performance of $5.4 billion in year 2024, the highest in 49 years.
It's also important to put on records that since 49 years of the establishment of NEPC, Nigeria recorded the highest value of non-oil export to the tune of $5.4 billion in
the NEPC, while assuring support of the SICAN.
We are aware that under the leadership of the current ED, the non-oil export has been going up. That shows the kind of leadership that she has provided.
Exporting companies was actually introduced and initiated from the Policy and Strategy Department and then handed over as a special project under the office of the CEO.
Recently, one of the mantra the ED in our wisdom came up with this mantra, doubling your export. And we all know that export activities are not taking place right here at the center alone. In fact, the state offices are the ones driving all the export activities in the country.
They further assured that the council is working hard to ensuring Nigerian products conform with international standards as well as attract acceptability. Ile Emeje, ASO Television News.
The President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Alutore, presented the State of the Community Interim Report to the 2025 First Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Parliament. This report outlines the community's performance in implementing key projects and initiatives irrespective of the global and regional challenges bedeviling the bloc. Dr. Tore, in his presentation, emphasized ECOWAS resilience in the face of complex economic, political, and security environment. He stressed the importance of active national-level participation for achieving regional integration and sustainable development goals. But as the news, thanks for watching. I am Joy Annie. Have a good day.